The Crithian youngling watched through the observation port with unblinking golden eyes. Inside the human habitat, Lieutenant Jessica Martinez moved through her morning routine, completely unaware of her audience. "What is the prey thing doing?" chirped Crothrax, his voice translator rendering his curiosity into flat, mechanical English. His clutch sister Velmora pressed closer to the reinforced glass. "I do not know. It looks like preparation for combat." On the interstellar peacekeeping station Frontier 7, humans were still a novelty. Jessica Martinez was one of only 3 human liaisons assigned to the station, and the first to volunteer for the cultural exchange program. What she hadn't expected was that her daily yoga routine would become the station's most watched entertainment. Jessica flowed from downward dog into warrior pose, her breathing steady and controlled. She held the position, muscles engaged, completely centered in the moment. "Look at the muscle tension." Crothrax's tail lashed with excitement. The human is preparing its body for the hunt. The 2 Crithian cubs had been observing the human for 3 cycles now. Their species, apex predators from a high-gravity world, had never encountered anything quite like humanity. Humans were classified as persistence predators, but their physical capabilities seemed impossibly contradictory. Weak bite force, no natural weapons, relatively fragile bone structure, yet they had conquered their homeworld and now walked among the stars as equals to species that should have been able to tear them apart. Jessica transitioned into tree pose, balancing on one leg with perfect stillness. "Impossible," breathed Velmora. "The equilibrium required for that stance." Their instructor, Combat Master Thresh Kal, approached from behind. The grizzled Crithian warrior had seen 3 colonial wars and bore the scars to prove it. "Still watching the human, younglings?" "Combat Master, we do not understand," Crothrax admitted. "The human performs these movements every dawn cycle. They appear to be combat forms, but there is no opponent." Thresh Kal's mandibles clicked in amusement. "That is because you are thinking like a Crithian, young one. We train our bodies through combat simulation and prey stalking. Humans are different." "Different how?" Velmora asked. The combat master settled onto his haunches. "I fought alongside human marines during the Theta uprising. I have seen what they can do. That human in there is not preparing for combat. She is preparing her mind." "Mind?" Crothrax was confused. "But she moves her body. For humans, the two cannot be separated. They call it discipline. We Crithians are born with strength, with speed, with killing instincts honed by evolution. Humans. They have to build everything themselves. That is their greatest weapon." Jessica moved into a plank position, holding herself suspended. Her arms trembled slightly, but she didn't waver. "See that?" Thresh Kal pointed. "Her muscles are under stress, but she controls the pain. She tells her body what to do, not the other way around. When a Crithian feels pain, instinct screams at us to stop, to flee, to attack. Humans feel that same pain and choose to continue." The cubs watched in silence as Jessica held the position for another 30 seconds before smoothly transitioning into cobra pose. "During the uprising," Thresh Kal continued, "I saw a human soldier named Marcus Robinson continue fighting with a broken arm. Not just fighting, coordinating his squad, making tactical decisions, carrying wounded. When I asked him how, he said he compartmentalized the pain. As if suffering was just another tool to be organized and controlled." "That sounds like madness," Velmora whispered. "Or genius," the combat master replied. "Humans are not the strongest species. Not the fastest. Their senses are middling, their natural weapons non-existent. But they are the most determined thing the galaxy has ever produced. They look at their weaknesses and systematically eliminate them through pure will." Jessica finished her routine with a final stretch, then rolled up her mat. She glanced toward the observation port and, to the cub's surprise, waved and smiled. "She knows we are watching." Crothrax jumped back. Of course she knows. Humans are persistent predators. They are always aware of their surroundings. Always watching. Always thinking. Thresh KL stood. Come. If you are so fascinated by human training methods, perhaps you should learn them. The next morning, Crothrax and Velmora appeared at Jessica's habitat door. She opened it, dressed in her yoga attire, mat already rolled out. Combat Master Thresh Kal said you might be coming, she said with a warm smile. Ready to try? The cubs exchanged glances. We wish to learn the warrior poses, Crothrax said formally. Jessica's smile widened. It's called yoga, and it's not about being a warrior. It's about balance, control, and finding peace in discipline. But the Combat Master said. The Combat Master is wise, Jessica interrupted gently. Warriors need peace too. Maybe especially warriors. Come on, I'll show you. For the next hour, Jessica guided the two young Crithians through basic poses. Their powerful bodies, built for explosive movement and combat, struggled with the sustained holds and slow transitions. Crothrax nearly toppled during tree pose 3 times. Velmora's legs shook during Warrior 2. But they didn't quit. By the end of the session, both cubs were exhausted in a way that combat practice never left them. This is, surprisingly difficult, Velmora admitted, her translator barely masking her breathlessness. That's the point, Jessica said. Yoga isn't about being strong. It's about finding strength you didn't know you had. It's about discipline. Word spread quickly through the station. Within a week, Jessica's morning sessions had expanded to include a dozen Crithian younglings. Within a month, even adult crew members were joining. The sight of fearsome predators attempting downward dog became normal on Frontier 7. Combat Master Thresh Kal watched from his office viewport as the class ended one morning. His second-in-command, Kresh Tau, joined him. The younglings begin each day with the human stretches now, Kresh Tau observed. Some of the warriors mock them for adopting prey species behavior. Thresh Kal's mandibles clicked. Let them mock. I have seen the results in training. The younglings who practice with the humans show improved focus, better injury recovery, and enhanced combat discipline. The human teaches them what we could not, that true strength comes not from what your body can do, but from what your mind refuses to allow it not to do. Down in the training bay, Crothrax held warrior pose, his muscles burning, his body screaming for rest. But he remembered Jessica's words, find strength you didn't know you had. He held the pose. And in that moment, the young Crithian understood why humans had conquered the stars. Not through superior weapons or overwhelming force, but through the simple, terrifying refusal to give up.